Oh.
And you're just thinking, I have seen Iko Ue throw 40 strikes without a cut before.
Mm-hmm.
Why not just set up the camera? And it was a stylistic choice. So that's why I don't really feel horribly about saying I do not like the action. It wasn't because they were limited. It wasn't because of injuries. It wasn't because of budget. It was a choice that was made. So I feel fine saying that the action in the movie's bad. But I will say, though, that whenever Golding is allowed to run or slide or punch or swing a sword, for the 3 seconds that he does it, he looks like an action hero. He really does. And when I put my thoughts out about it, my wife and I were watching this Andrew Koji, and the dude is, when during his fights that you can see for 1/12 of a second, he really handles himself well. So it's annoying, but you also like the actors in it, and you want to promote them more, so then you want to say you hate the movie, but it's, man, I would love to see a better Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes is fun. I like the plot, but I would love to see a camera I would love to see Friedkin directed. Whoa.
Oh my gosh.
Snake Eyes. Just leave a camera there and shoot it. Just give me that. I don't need all these cuts. Blech. Sorry, I just had to vent.
You know what? While we're on this topic, William Friedkin should work with Samara Weaving next.
Whoa. Yeah.
Find something for her to do, because I like her when I see her, and she seems like a great person, but I don't like a lot of her movies, and that upsets me for some reason. I'm like, and when I asked you how is she in Snake Eyes, and you're like, yeah. It wasn't her fault, but it was like, yeah. I was like, oh, okay.
Whenever she gets a fight, she starts shooting a gun, then they cut away. You're like, what? Okay. And her dialogue is very ADR'd. It's odd. Okay. And I mean, when she first got started too, you had Babysitter. She was sort of this Guns Akimbo, which like just this kind of for lack of a better word, like blonde bombshell was also kind of crazy, I guess. But you watch her in 3 Billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri. I don't know if you watched that.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, but she is in it, and she's real mousy and kind of nerdy. And probably beaten because that guy's horrible. But that's seeing her performance in that. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like she's got range in this outside of that box that she's been put into.
That's true. And I did like her in the new Bill and Ted movie.
Yeah.
I did enjoy the daughters in that film. I think they were really, really well cast. Yeah.
Yeah, Friedkin movie with Samara Weaving. So Friedkin comes back. He's making a movie called The Death in the Jet Ski Sales Room. All right. It's about jet ski salespeople who live in Jersey. This is based on a stage play by Tracy Letts.
Of course.
It was huge in Germany. They loved the humor out there. It had a decent run here, but I think it went over a lot of American critics' heads. Europe loved it. It actually had a really long run in Australia and Japan too.
It won the prize for a certain regard at Cannes.
It's all right. So then he finally gets some money, right? A24 says you can make the murder in a jet ski sales room. You have Sam Weaving. Who are 4 other people, actors you love that you would want to see in it?
Oh wow. Kiernan Shipka would be one.
Whoa. Yeah.
I would. Who are the actors I love?
It's a weird question.
It is a weird question. Joaquin Phoenix.
Whoa.
Put him in there in a career resurrection role. Bring James Woods in.
Whoa.
That's a kind.
He could do Friedkin.
Oh yeah. I'm surprised he hasn't actually. But is that 3 or 4?
You have 4 right now.
4.
Because you have Sam Weaving.
Yeah.
You have Shipka. You have James Woods. You have
Joaquin
Phoenix. And who's your 5th?
Ooh. I love her too. Addison Timlin.
Oh, Addison Timlin.
Yeah, she's been in a lot of small indie flicks like Little Sister and Like Me. If you haven't seen these movies, check them out, please. She's fantastic.
Well, if you ever want to talk about the one she did with Anton Yelchin that was directed by Stephen Sommers.
Oh, did Odd Thomas?
Yeah, Odd Thomas.
Was she in that? I didn't know she was in that.
Yeah, she's in it.
Oh, okay. I haven't watched that one. I'll have to check it out now.
Okay, I'm going to give you my 5.
Okay, go ahead.
Sam Weaving, Sung Kang from the Fast and Furious franchise.
Okay.
Gotta have Sung Kang. I like your ship cut a lot. That's very inspired. But who
Blackcoat's,
else?
Blackcoat's daughter in Mad Men.
Yeah, who else do I... Okay, so that... You know what? Put Shipka in there, too, because that's really inspired. I'm stealing from you, and I don't care.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so we got that. Then let's do Iko Ue. Because whenever... I'm serious. When he's on screen, there should be a rule in this world that when Iko Ue pops up in a movie for the first time on any screen in the world, everyone just has to pick somebody up and run around the theater cheering Iko Ue.
Mark, can I say something really quick to get it off my chest?
Yeah. Sort
of similar to your complaint with Snake Eyes. Iko Ue was in that movie Stuber, and they made like totally. You have this awesome guy who can do all this awesome physical action, and what do? You put him in 3 scenes, and he doesn't even get to show off his stuff. That is like you stupid Americans. What were you doing with this movie? Oh, I know it was a vehicle for Dave Bautista and Kumail, but I mean, come on, man.
That's one of my least favorite movies of recent memory because it's Bautista saying something, and then Kumail just says, "Well, I don't know about that. That's inappropriate," and then that's the entire movie.
Well, and then they waste Karen Gillan in that film too, which is also unforgivable. So anyway.
Oh wait, actually, take out Shipka. Wait, no, Gillan just had a big hit. So wait.
No, you can use...
Put Gillan in, and then Iko Ue, and then to finish it up, Scott Adkins.
Okay.
So, Sam Weaving...
Hardcore, man.
Sam Weaving, Karen Gillan...
Sung
Kang, Iko Ue, and Scott Adkins.
These are 2 very different jet ski murder mysteries. Yeah.
I gotta make a picture for this. If you don't, send me your names later on, so I just remember them. I should have written it down, but you'll hear the typing when I do it.
No. I'm writing them down right now. While
right.
I'm still.
I'm gonna make a little graphic that I think will be hilarious. In the Death in a Jet Ski Sales Room, directed by Friedkin, and this is our cast.
I think Friedkin will come back to film for this. I think it's that good of an idea. Yeah.
Man. I don't know what's going to happen in this movie, but they better have some K-Fry C in it. Oh, gosh.
Absolutely.
I just got to say, I know I kicked off this episode with just an epic rant, but I think that's because, like Mitch Hedberg says, that when he holds his microphone, he kind of snips it off and he lets it go, a whole bunch of jokes come out at once.
Yeah.
That's like it's better than a hose. I like his gag better. But yeah, that's what this movie has been for me, because Jonny Numb, we can't recommend this film to everybody. It's like we can't recommend, if you're a Sandler fan, it's really hard to recommend Uncut Gems to somebody. So if you're like, man, and listen, I think Sandler films, I watch them all because I think they're very relaxing, and I came up with my own out of love of Sandler because I'm just I think his movies, you can just sit on the couch, turn off, and it's just a nice property to watch. It's comfort food.
Mm-hmm.
But Uncut Gems is not. So you just can't recommend it. So Killer Joe, for me, it's really hard to recommend to non-cinephiles. You can't. Like, am I crazy here, Jonny Numb?
No, and I think that's maybe another reason why I think sometimes the MPAA goes after stuff, and it's something that just like Cronenberg's Crash, for example. That's a feel good movie.
I'm not recommending that got Criterion, didn't it?
Yeah, recently. Yeah. Or something like this one's really obscure, but Jennifer Lynch's movie Chained, which got threatened with a NC-17, and that was like a movie really nobody saw once it got released. But I think when they see stuff that goes against the status quo in terms of what we're accustomed to, in terms of sex or violence, and how it's depicted in film, I think that's what raises their hackles a bit. And that's what winds up getting threatened with the NC-17 rating. And those are the films like Killer Joe that don't back down from taking on that. Killer Joe took that, I think, as sort of a badge of approval, kind of, and that's why they ran with it theatrically. We're not Friedkin, and Friedkin's the type of guy who I don't see saying, "Oh, well, I made the frickin' Exorcist. I'm not going to cut down this movie when I'm in my 70s." It's like if you like it, you like it. If you don't, kind of thing.
It's great you said that too, because he never wants to make a movie where you watch it. And so I watched Snake Eyes, and I just thought, like bad action, but it was fine. And I kind of forgot about it. Friedkin never wants to make that. He's like, if you watch Killer Joe and you hate it, obviously I'm not a fan of that because I want you to like it. But at least you had a reaction to it. You had a visceral, angry, I hate this movie reaction. I've never written a review before, but I'm going to write one about how much I hate this movie. He wants that. And that's what I guess what I like about a lot of directors. I think, I know sometimes people complain nowadays about content and how content is king and how there are movies being released at an astounding rate. And a lot of them are not going to get the reaction of Killer Joe. So it's interesting where I don't think I could deal with all movies like Killer Joe all the time. Movies that I hate or love where I have visceral reactions. Like I need a gunpowder milkshake. I need a Snake Eyes. I need a Jolt. I need a Great White. Just to watch. But I love movies like this. And I love movies that we've talked about in our Feel Good series because they really do elicit emotions. And they do. Movies like this, Jonny Numb, make you think outside the pocket. You watch Elle, and if you thought about it at a base level, you might hate it. But if you understand Verhoeven, if you understand why he shot it overseas, if you understand the humor of it, the difference in character, then I think you really love it. And you know what's interesting? This movie actually received some decent accolades, or was nominated. It was nominated for a Golden Lion and Golden Mouse in Venice. In Toronto, they gave Gina Gershon the Best Supporting Actress.
Wow.
It was up for the nominated for Grand Prix, Belgian Film Critics Association. It was up for Saturn Awards, Best Independent Spirit Awards. So, I mean, people did like it, but just not... But it seems like the people who like it were the people you expected to like it. If
Right. People like us.
Yeah, exactly. Because we get it. There's humor to this movie. But we also, I don't know, and that's fine. But some people would watch Killer Joe and say it's an abomination. You and I watch it and think it's funny because we get it.
Yeah.
But that's why it's another movie that's hard to recommend. Like, hey guys, watch Killer Joe.
Well, and I think I was just thinking back to something like Elle or The House That Jack Built or Dragged Across Concrete stuff.
The House That Jack Built. There's a skin wallet.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. I mean, it's like I think about these movies and how it's more like they put you in these muddy scenarios, and I like films, like I said, where the lines between good and bad are not clearly drawn. I think it's really interesting. I mean, especially Dragged Across Concrete, I think brings up a lot of complaints and problems that we're looking at in, not to get on my soapbox here, like that we're looking at in American culture and society, but it doesn't give you any answers. It just presents all this stuff for 2.5 hours, and at the end of it, you're kind of left to make your own decision about it. And some, like you said, I like to chillax with Bridesmaids every once in a while because that's such a good palate cleanser of a movie, and it makes me feel good to watch it. Love Kristen Wiig, stuff like that. I'd love to sit and watch something that I can just enjoy. But then I like to watch this stuff that makes me think a little bit and makes me question, because these are the movies where I could write probably pages and pages of interpretation about them because there's so many different ways you could approach them from. So
absolutely.
Anyway,
you just made me think about Bully.
Oh, we got to do Bully next.
Oh.
No, I won't hold you to that, Mark.
No, I mean, if you want to. I mean, that movie has affected me. It really has. So it might actually be worth exploring, because I watched that movie when it came out, and it just like kids and abuse, and it's based on a true story. And I mean, Larry Clark is also very exploitative of his kids that he filmed.
Yes, he is.
So, I think it's a subject where, well, let me think about it. But because do we want to be in a Bully headspace again? Do I want to live in Bully for a while? That's just what I got to think about.
No, I know what you mean. I actually have it on DVD, but I will tell you honestly, I go years without watching it. So, yeah.
Nick Stahl.
Oh,
that movie.
Scary.
That's, you know what? If I had to put together a list of movies, performances that burnt into my memory, that just hurt me, I would put Nick Stahl, that performance, in top 5 easily.
Yeah.
Because it oozes wolf.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, Mark, sorry sorry to end it on a bad note there.
Yeah, we gotta get